what do they call me? Cipher, what do they call me? Whore, monkey. I was a frog for a minute, so I guess you can call me that because I assimilate to a frog. But what else you call me? Wolf woman. I am a bit of a wolf woman. Yeah, maybe I am a wolf woman. I'm not running on 4s though yet, so I don't know if I could claim that. I don't have big feet. What kind of, sort of? So anyway, if any of those things offend you, my caramel copper skin, my big bosoms, my language of mass destruction, then this video is not for you. So I don't feel upset if you don't feel upset. If I'm here and you feel offended every time you come here, let me give you a suggestion. Unsubscribe and go to a channel where the NPCs and the AI system and the agendas of mass destruction and all of the cosplaying and the governmental inception and agendas are all in there. Go to those channels. They will probably serve you the perfect cup of tea, just perfect temperature. I may give you something too hot or too cold, and I do not want to ruin you. All right, y'all. So check on in. I'm waiting until we get to 500. Peace to everyone coming in. I was a insectilian when I first came in. I was trying to put everyone under insectilian mind control, but it didn't work because your leader doesn't look like this anymore. So I only wanted to do it if your leader still looked like this, but he doesn't. So I can't do it. Oh my God. Peace, everyone. Join on in. The topic is really important. I'm being playful because I'm about to, I'm going to give it to you. I'll probably purple pill you today. So if you don't mind being purple pilled today, then I'm going to give it to you. Raw, straight off the presses, as well as you can receive it. Okay. So check on in. I'll wait until we get I know I came on last minute. I had a really funky cold. It was like 72 hours. I did pretty well. Utilize all those amazing remedies because, they try to put the AI bots all in my body with the rain and mass destruction. We're going to talk about the water and the mist of mass destruction, but I gotta play it off, y'all, because the governmental systems, Willy Wonka and his League of Doom, are always on my channel. They got all the NPCs and Agent Smiths in here. They're all in here. They'll call themselves one name one week. They'll call themselves others. They always call in the popo, the YouTube popo. So I gotta switch it up and tell you that, if you're coming in here, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a referee. Sometimes I'm a bit of a dominatrix, but I don't mean to do that. I'm not a specialist in anything other than the things that I give you as far as my opinion. Okay, so if you come on here and it's a comedy skit, this is a comedy skit. There's no reality to what I'm saying, and I'm a liar. I got to put that in there because YouTube and its League of Doom, they like to come in here and they try to press me. Okay, if you find your leader again, can you please direct me towards him so I can really get some idea of why your planet is filled with like NPC cosplay trash, cosmic trash. Check on in, y'all. Remember the bogle? Oh, come on in. I'm waiting until 500. Oh, bogle. Come on in. Hi, AJ. I don't have a cosmic name yet, but I'll figure it out. My insectilian name, if Kim Trash Kardashian can dress up like a spider woman or insect, why can't I be cosmic trash like her, like an insectoid queen? Okay. Look, Cleo already put see, I told you I was a frog. See, at least some of you accept me when I really try to change and become something that I feel in alignment with. When I was really in my trans frog stage, you guys really accepted me, and I appreciate it. Like, you didn't judge me that I was a ribbit. Like, you didn't judge me. You let me and my mental illness take over, and you accepted me for all the mental mental confusion and the underlying feeling of self-loathing. You really accepted me for who I was. I appreciate it. I'm not a frog anymore. Occasionally, I told you someone allowed me to go on their lake, and they gave me a really nice lily pad and let me rib it out there. in the night with the other frogs. Come on in, check on in, y'all. My mother, I went into my mother's room like this. Listen, y'all, I went to my mom and I went in my mom's room like this and I told her I was coming out of the closet and that would she accept me? And do you know what my mother said, y'all? You know how I told you she's such a sweetheart? She said she wasn't going to accept me as an insectoid. She said she could, that I went too far. She said this image is going too far. So my mother has disowned this aspect of me. So she doesn't accept the insectoid within me. So being a trans insectoid, it didn't fly with her. I tried, you know what I mean? I don't know. She can't kick me out of my own house. So that's a good thing, right? Yeah. Once you pay the bills in your own house, you can't get kicked out. But maybe she can kick me out. What if one day I come home and the doors are locked? You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be something? She locked the doors saying, I don't know what happened to my daughter. She used to be sweet and human, and then she turned into an insect. That'd be messed up, right? Anyway, come on in, check on in, y'all. I'm playing. Come on in. I'll wait until we get to 500. I'll start the topic. We're gonna discuss something really important. So check on in. Yeah, I'm got the whole insectoid thing going on. I got my Michael Jackson, Your Leader, his original form. So I think if this offends you, this might not be the video for you today, because I'm going to talk about cosplaying and NPC cosplaying and the colonization of the entire matrix and how that is falling apart. So if this image of the true Michael Jackson offends you and you feel like you're going to have a moment, like it gaslights you, look, if this image gaslights you, I think it's time for you to unsubscribe from my chat. Really? Okay, we're going to get to 500. I know. How's everybody doing? If Princess Tiana could turn into a frog and have a prince, why can't you? Right on, AJ. They told me I was a proper frog for a little bit. I really did. I had the whole green thing. I actually look decent in green. You know, like the copper skin looks really good in green. So I had a green moment. You know when Kermit the Frog said, somewhere we'll find it, a rainbow connection. Da 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 la 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 dee, da da. You know that song I love. Did you guys ever watch? I'm showing my age. I don't care. Because I'm a frog. You ever remember when Kermit was in the boat and he was singing about the rainbows? Oh, I love that scene. I'm such a child of that time. The dreamers and you, la da la dee da da. I love Kermit the Frog. Remember him and the trans species, like him and Miss Piggy, like had a relationship. Like he was in love with Miss Piggy. Her hooves and everything. Like if Miss Piggy was lovable, why can't I be? Like why can't I just be as lovable as Miss Piggy? Sometimes I have to squeeze into things. Squeeze, like a sausage squeeze. We're almost at 500. I'm gonna play with y'all a little bit until we start. Come on in. I love that song. I was thinking about watching the Muppets. Remember when Miss Piggy was in jail and she was like, remember they would like break out of jail? She was like, Miss Piggy was like, oh, I love those days. Oh my gosh. That was so much fun. She broke out of jail. That was the strongest pig I've ever seen in my life. All right, check on in. We had a lot of fun as children. I think Generation X, and Generation X, because I had children a little later, so I probably raised my children with some millennials, children's children. So what's crazy is that my children really love like all the stuff I watch, because I like made them watch like Goonies and Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Where are you? Like I actually had them watch like all the stuff I used to watch when I was young. They didn't like, my one daughter doesn't like Fraggle Rock. Do you remember Fraggle Rock? Dance your cares away. Worries for another day. Let the music play. Down at Fraggle Rock. they don't like, my little one doesn't like Fraggle Rock. She gets freaked out by it. So I can't play Fraggle Rock for her, even though she looks so cute as a Fraggle. She wouldn't let me dress her up as a Fraggle either, which I didn't. I thought that was kind of unfortunate. Okay, so we're almost there. I'm gonna start off. Okay, my wolves are out of control. Okay, Care Bears. Remember the Care Bears? And they just like open up their heart, like open it up and rainbows come out. Okay. All right, we've got a couple more to go and I'll start at 500, y'all. Okay. Ghostbusters. Remember that? Ghostbusters. There's something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Smurfs, right? La la da 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 da. La da 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 da. Now I'm gonna go a little further, y'all. It's gonna show. Let's see if you remember. I'm Chilly Willy the penguin. No wonder why I'm chilly all the time. Oh I wiggle and I wait. Oh gee, oh my oh goodness sake, I'm Chilly Willy the penguin. No wonder why I'm chilly, y'all. Remember that? I love that. Or how about Magilla Gorilla for sale? Don't you try 'em, take 'em home and buy 'em. Gorilla for sale. If you guys remember Magilla Gorilla, we're almost there. We're almost at 500, remember? Now, Gumby was before my time. My older brother likes more Gumby. But I watched Gumby. He was like, Gumby? But I watched Davy and Goliath. Come on, Davy. Remember all those religious shows we used to watch? Come on, Davy. I'm giving flashbacks to all the Generation Xers or the children of Generation Xers, because we probably forced you to watch the stuff that we liked, okay? So we're going to kind of talk about cosplay. My bangs are tragic. When you cut your hair and you're hoping that it turns out right. The rest of my hair looks fine, but okay. How much of that monkey? Oh, how much is that monkey in the window? That's right, remember that? Mr. Rogers, remember? Good day in the neighborhood. It's something in the neighborhood. Won't you come to my, no. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you something? Oh God, I forgot. Remember Lamb Chop? How the heck were we okay with Lamb Chop? Do you remember that? Be my neighbor. Won't you be my neighbor? Do you guys remember this? What was it? The magic mirror. I see you, AZ Nature. I see chocolate. I see K. I see naturally natured. I see survived L3. Hi. Remember the magic mirror? I love them. And the ladies were like real hippies. They had long hair with ponytails and they'd be on the swings. They never said my name. How come they never said my name? Oh my God. Remember that? The magic, it was the, she had a mirror and it was like a hole in it. Remember? And she'd be like, I see Rachel. I see Diana. My name was never called. I see Joy. I see Brian. All right, y'all, we're almost there. Check on in. We're going to talk about the NPCs and the colonization of the simulation matrix, okay? And how many of the NPCs are basically using a form of cosplay to try to assimilate to you or try to fake the funk. So we're going to kind of talk about that and how cosplay has been a normal thing, a normalizing thing, and why I thought it was important for me to bring Michael Jackson into this, because a lot of times what happens is that if they can't be you, they try to make you feel bad about you so that you change you, so you're more assimilated, you're more assimilating, they're more able to assimilate to you because you change into something that's easier for them to cosplay. Okay, so it's harder for them to cosplay this beautiful being, right? So what they did is they put a lot of pressure of a whole bunch of like probably just toxic frequencies, self-loathing agendas. And then eventually what happens is that this beautiful leader that used to have eventually changed and morphed into something was more assimilative, more for others to assimilate to. And now you're going to like Mexico, you can go to Spain, you can go into like, where did I see it? In Costa Rica. You could go and you can go into like Bali or into like China, and they're all mimicking him with the lighter skin, the straight hair, and it's easier for them to cosplay the faker version of him. Okay, so they make you hate yourself, change yourself so that they can eat and cosplay off of you. Okay. Oh, we're at 500. Okay, so let's get into the topic. So, peace to the east, the west, the north, and the south. This is Fleur Brun coming to you today with a new topic of discussion. I am on here because I wanted to come on YouTube today to discuss this. So let's talk about the NPCs. Now, all of you know that I know that we're living in a simulation. Whether you accept that or not, that is on you. That's why you won't hear me say we, us, because we aren't always us. We and us. Who is that? Somebody's calling me. Oh my God. I don't know if the NPCs are trying to get to me already. So I already assume that in this space, this wonderful sacred space that I created on this channel, there most likely will be a handful or more of bots, agents, NPCs, AI generated false, robotoids that are in this space. Okay. So when we talk about the simulation and how we're seeing the simulation change and break down, I'm going to talk about what was created in this artificial construct we call the matrix. Now, everything around us is controlled by our thoughts, electromagnetic energy waves that we create with our thoughts. That's why sometimes you'll think about something, it'll show up on your phone. That's why I talked about the fact that whenever, and please don't let anyone tell you that they made this up, because I came up with this. That's another thing. The NPCs will take things that they know that you said or created, and they'll go on a run and act like it came from them, because they're basically just like vampires or pirates of other people's or authenticity, and they aren't able to create anything, and we'll kind of talk about that. But remember when I talked about my realization I came up with that the Mandela effect was just updates in the simulation. So when you were looking at like Bernstein Bears, Sex and the City, what else? Like all of these different things that you saw change in your books or on things that you remember, and it looks different, like small characters, sometimes very small variations that change. Those are updates in the simulation. And the NPCs, and I gave you an idea of how you can recognize NPCs, because NPCs only know the updates, because they're artificial. They're AI generated artificial beings, empty seaters, space fillers, background people, those are just beings that are here in this simulation. They're simulated beings, so they only would know the updates. So when you get a Mandela effect and you see it change in all of the structure, that's how you know we're living in a simulation, because where could you ever live and exist that it's a real place, a real existing concrete place, where if something changes and you have a memory of it, and a lot of people have a memory of the original form of it, that everything changed, including all your old books, television shows, all with the new spelling. It's because it's an update. Just like you get updates on your phone, you'll get updates in the simulation. And with the updates, everything is updated. You'll get sometimes a glitch where you might see an original form of it somewhere, but that's quite, it's unusual. So with NPCs and assimilated people, they only remember the updates. They aren't beings that remember the old construct, because they are simulated people. They are AI simulated people. When you walk out of the holodeck, they don't exist. They're only there to fill the space. That's why when I used to drive, like, my days of drinking Starbucks, give me I pat myself on the shoulder. I'm off of Starbucks because they were supporting child trafficking and child and genocide and murder. And I couldn't be down with them anymore. Even though I had an addiction, I had to change it. So Starbucks, if you keep supporting things, you poisonous already. I already knew I had an addiction, but y'all let me know what you support. So I had to jump off you real quick when I found out what you support. So boo-boo on you, Starbucks. But back in the days, when I had my addiction to Starbucks, I would be like in a driveway and drive-through, or if I walk, I go inside Starbucks and there would be nobody there. But as soon as I would walk in Starbucks, all of these characters start walking in, and you're like, wait a second, where did all these people come from? And I'm sure it happens to many of you. You'll go somewhere, it'll seem like nobody's there. Maybe you go to a restaurant, like, oh, let's go sit in this restaurant, and then all of a sudden, all of these NPCs start filling up the space because the fillers, it's almost like when you ever play The Sims, y'all? You ever play The Sims game back in the days? Anybody remember playing The Sims when you were in a Sims game and you created your own avatar and you would walk in a room and nobody would be in there, and then all of a sudden all these simulated Sims would start coming in and trying to engage with you and talk to you? That is what happens in this holodeck, this simulation, this artificial construct we call the Matrix, okay? So because of that, you have these simulated people. Now remember, what we used to perceive or call archons were really the beings that constructed the architects of this simulated field. So this electromagnetic field that we're all engaging with our mind, our mental electrical currency that we're all exchanging and creating our reality, the actual engineers or the creators of the construct of the electrical field, those are considered to be archons. They create it in order to give us the space in order to engage in this artificial field, okay? Now, but within the construct of the domes, each of the domes have different simulated scenarios. You have access to different dreamscapes also. Sometimes when there's updates, your dreams may update with broader constructs of awareness, depending on your level of awareness of how you sit in the matrix. Now, am I going too far, y'all? Are you guys kind of there with me? Okay, so why I wanted to talk about this is because I got to bring up the Zombies again. Big up to the Zombies. I was on there not able to talk because, you know, I had a cold and my voice was, but we were discussing this and I talked about the fact that I now realize that the electrical fence that was put on brown well, no, I don't know if it was just put on brown Americans. I don't know if it was. I think I'm talking about this simulation. So let me talk about this simulated dome first, because each of the constructs of simulated spaces that we live in, they're under different domes. That's why when you go to a different country, your dreamscape changes, because now you have access to different types of environmental or constructs of colors or beings, even the different types of beings that exist in that dome, you have access to that. So you ever notice that you'll go to a different country? Like I had a friend who flew, she went to Iceland, and when she went to Iceland, she saw gnomes in her dreams. She's never had dreams of gnomes. All of a sudden she dreamt and she saw gnomes and she saw talking mushrooms and she saw like talking like mold rocks, because now she entered into a different simulated space, another room, another dome, and in that dome it had different types of environmental or collective energetic expressions. So her dreams, now she had access to a new collective